Hello, we are in the middle of election season to discuss the role of election commission in the electoral process, which is ongoing electoral process. I have with me two senior journalists, Radha R.K. Radhakrishnan and Mr. Malan Narayanan. Welcome both to the Federal. I go straight to the issue and ask the first question to you. In this election, the role of election commission itself seem to have assumed an important position. It's been in focus since the start of the entire process. How do you view that?
See, the problem is when the Election Commission is not seen as doing the job it's supposed to do. Under 324 of the Indian Constitution, People's Representation Act, the remit of the Election Commission is to hold free and fair election. That's it. Has it been able to do free and fair elections from 2014 to 16 to 19? No. And there is straightaway a problem there. The amount of cash being seized, the amount of jewelry being seized, the amount of drugs being seized across the country is at unprecedented levels. The Election Commission's job is to ensure a free and fair poll. It should stop there. It is not bothered about a constitutional crisis that will arise if the Parliament does not convene by June 22nd or whatever date it's supposed to convene. That is not its remit. It is failing in its job here because despite cash seizures in a lot of places, including Andipati in Tamil Nadu, Anant Kumar's place, farmhouse, the amount of drugs being seized in Gujarat, over 500 crores, in Punjab over 150 crores, in NCR in Delhi over 348 crores, no postponement of elections anywhere, no rescinding of elections anywhere. So that is a huge problem as far as I am concerned.
Mr. Malan, do you also see it in the same perspective? You see, the Election Commission in the past have managed to somehow curb use of muscle power, but the use of money power, as he's saying, it seems to have completely failed.
Yeah, the problem for the Election Commission is it's a toothless tiger. The problem is if they seize cash and if they want to nullify an election or if they want to cancel an election, countermand an election, they have to seek the help of the courts. And when they are taking it to the courts, court needs admissible evidences. They can't simply say that I have taken it from here and this money belongs to him. Then they have to establish that this money belongs to a particular person. And it becomes difficult for the Election Commission to do so in a given time. And we must understand that the Election Commission per se, they don't have a machinery of their own. They are dependent on the state machinery. The epidemic of cash for votes has spread almost all over India, except a few states like Himachal Pradesh. Almost money has been seized from every state in smaller or bigger way, and Tamil Nadu leads the tally. And it becomes difficult for the Election Commission. At the most they are able to do is they are able to seize the cash and trying to stop it from distributed to the public. But even in that, they were not able to do it 100%.
Yeah.
So what happens is then it is left to the courts, and courts take their own sweet time to decide on things.
Yeah. Radhakrishnan, do you agree with this? I think Mr. Malan seemed to be suggesting a certain helplessness of Election Commission. Do you agree with this proposition that Election Commission doesn't have enough laws to deal with these kind of issues?
Not at all. See, if you are going to close your eyes and believe the entire world is dark, that's your problem. It is not. We had a TN session who proved it's not. Then, of course, the government gets very wary and then appoints 2 more election commissioners. But then Lindo proved it doesn't stand the way. Tandon proved it doesn't stand the way. Gopalsamy proved it didn't stand the way. So the problem here happens to be a problem of not having enough willpower on the part of the Election Commission. What has it done to curb these offences? You should make it more expensive for the candidates to contest such elections. If you're going to give money for votes, cash for votes in one place during one election, countermand the election, hold it again. If you are sure that money has been caught again, you get a report from the returning officer. No court will ever come in the way when an election process is on. The court might pass strictures later on the Election Commission on anybody else, much later. But then your job is to make sure that there are free and fair elections. You can do it if you countermand and make it more expensive for the political parties. At some point, money distribution will have to stop.
It has been established that there was money and they are fielding the same candidate again. And what happens is the election commission is able to prove the money was there was money to be distributed to the voters at a particular constituency. But if you want to disqualify a candidate, then you have to prove that the money belongs to that particular candidate. What we need is, if it has been found that one particular party or many parties are involved in distributing the money, the parties must be de-recognized so that they will not contest the election again. Instead of, since it is very difficult to prove that money belongs to a particular candidate, but it may be easier to prove the money belongs to a party.
I think Mr. Balan is pointing out a very important issue here. Election Commission can register a party,
Yeah.
but it has no right to deregister. They don't have that power. In that sense, isn't political parties themselves complicit in not giving enough powers or making laws to ensure that the Election Commission does its job?
Look, no criminal is going to say that I am complicit in doing this. That's exactly the same state with political parties. You look at, the entire issue goes back to political funding. It starts from there. The fountain of political corruption lies in funding of political parties, and that nobody is willing to address. And we saw in Parliament, somebody wanted to introduce a bill, and all the political parties come together and say that we don't want a bill of this nature. From there, the entire thing flows from there. Where do you get your money from expenditure if it is controlled by the Election Commission?
So, Mr. Radhakrishnan, what's your final comments on this? Let's quickly wrap the whole situation. What do you think Election Commission should do in the remaining phase of the election?
For starters, it has to build confidence in the people that it is an impartial body. I from Tamil Nadu do not get that sense at all when the raid is only on the opposition parties, when every single thing the Prime Minister can violate it on every single day. Yesterday he announces ex gratia to people who are dead. Where? In Rajasthan, which is going to the polls, in MP, which is going to the polls, in Mizoram and other parts of the country. 2 lakhs each. If you're injured, you get 50,000. What? If rain falls on you, you get injured, you get 50,000. So, the Prime Minister has had a free run. Amit Shah gets a free run. But the moment Rahul Gandhi says something, there is a problem. It has to build confidence in the people that it is an independent body. That has not happened so far. And for heaven's sake, show some spine.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Malan, do you see a similar thing? Do you think is EC equitably acting on various issues?
No, it's not equitably acting on various issues, and I think they are subjected to some kind of a pressure. But what we need a very clear and candid laws, and we need to empower Election Commission more. And unfortunately, there is no accountability for Election Commission. Election Commission is not answerable to anyone, including courts when the electoral process starts. So there must be some kind of leash to rein them when they go wrong. And now they are an autonomous body.
Yeah.
And at the most, we can write leaders in our newspapers and be happy with that. But there must be something else to be done to that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pleasure.